World is getting colder, trying to get sober. Lord help me get stronger. World is on my shoulders.
How you doing? This is the 12 at 12 podcast, and I'm here with a special guest today, Franklin.
How you doing?
Yeah, see, this is a show that's about real life and recovery, family, growth and development, all that good stuff. Therefore, we're going to keep it pushing today. You already know that we're sponsored by First Step Recovery, so if you need help, please contact First Step Recovery. They'll be happy to help you. If you got a substance abuse problem, alcohol problem, they're there for you. Like we're here for you, for sure.
For sure.
So, Franklin, tell me a little bit about yourself. What is the first drug you ever used?
Man, I know they say that it's a gateway drug and everything, and I promise you it is, because the minute the minute that you do that little mind altering thing, first thing I did, 12 years old, was smoke that weed, and that weed just led you all the way off on the crazy thing. I'm telling y'all that you might not believe it. Oh, it's just marijuana. It ain't nothing bad. But the minute you put that mind altering substance on you, you're off and running to the races, man.
See that? See, that's a wrap. See, I've been having a little discussion with one of my coworkers about this here. She's siding with the not being the gateway drug, but I'm like, listen, every single person who I already talked to, the first thing they say is, oh, you know what? The first thing I tried was marijuana. The majority of people who get addicted is marijuana.
It might seem like
it is.
It might seem like it, but it's the easiest thing for people to come across out there. You know what I mean? Because it's everywhere. You know what I mean? And once you hit that and you get your mind altered around, you be like, well, hell, I got high off this. I wonder what this next buzz is like. It's got to be better than this buzz. It's got to be something. So you just move on to the next thing.
Move on to the next one.
Man, hey,
listen, bro. I try to tell people, man, like, listen, man. Marijuana, and then alcohol is gonna come with the marijuana.
Oh yeah.
And then it goes to the stronger things, and then next thing you know, you just destroying your life, tear yourself down. The pills, to the harder stuff, to the coke, to the crack, to the whatever, meth, whatever. And everybody goes off into their own pass off of that. But it always starts with the marijuana every time. Single time.
Because that's just the kid thing, you know what I mean? When you're a kid, you're not trying to step off into bad business, you know what I mean? You just like, all right, well, they're doing it, so I'm gonna do it. So you sit there and you just try a little buzz, man, and you think you're all right, and so you continue to do that. But the more you whip your mind up on this drug, you know what I'm saying, then you're gonna go on to something different. That's why they call it the gateway. Yeah. And people keep saying, "Oh, marijuana is not a drug." Does it alter the way you think?
Yeah.
Does it control you every day? Do you feel different because you ain't doing it?
Yeah.
Do you get irritable and everything? Yeah. Then you already become addicted to it. Whatever you want to say, marijuana is a drug, bro, and it is affecting people out there to move forward into their addiction. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a powerful thing right there. It definitely is.
Man.
Now, tell me a little bit about where you're from. First off.
Oh man, look, where I'm from, man, we could write a book on where I'm from, bro, because I'm telling you, I come from a dysfunctional family of drug dealers and drug addicts, and growing up, the whole thing was watching people in front of me, my uncles, my mama, my daddy, all of them, they was out there in the madness and they was slanging, you hear me? They was doing big things. And I was like, oh, so this is what I'm supposed to do when I grow up. So I'm watching them go to the pen, come back from the pen, go to the pen, come back from the pen, get busted by the police, watching my mom go to pen. My mom has been in pen more times than I have, and that's the thing to say, but that's a shame. But we bounced from place to place when we was growing up. So, man, we went from Kentucky to Indiana, from Indiana to Tennessee, from Tennessee to Missouri, from Missouri back to Kentucky, just back and forth, man. I really had that life where it was, here, I know you for a year, you're my friend for a year, I go to school at this place for a year, and then we move to a different place and I got to start back all over. I had so many different continuances in my life where I was going through things and trying to put something roots down, you know what I mean? And then we just pop off and move because shit done got hard on them, or I didn't never have that solidarity growing up. You know, when you got life-lived friends, you got these old people that you can always go back and relate on. It's always new people, new places, new faces, new things, new school, new everything. So when my life come up, man, it was already dysfunctional as hell because I never had that solidity, you know what I mean? It was always different places and different people. When I said just, if you ain't got that in your life, man, if you ain't got that past, that roots that you had in there, your life's already in shambles from the get-go, man, from the start, you know what I mean? Because you got your lifehood friends, you know what I mean? You got the people that you always go back on, but man, that's my bro from way back.
Yeah.
I ain't got no bros from way back, you know what I mean? I got brothers, you know what I mean?
So you was moving around like you was in the military.
Like in the military. I was moving around because we was in the addiction.
Dang.
We was moving around because they was in the addiction, and I was just a kid that was part of their family, and I had to move around because they was jumping from place to place because that was their addiction. And so I come up in this addiction, and it really gave me a mindset of where I wanted to be in my life and how everything with my life was messed up, and that's where I wanted to be at because I don't want my kids to have to, man, my kids, I haven't seen my kids in 13 years. And I was so mad at my baby mama because I was like, why are you keeping my kids from me? You know what I mean? Their first words were dad, dad. Both of them, my son and my daughter, dad, dad, because I was there for them kids like that. And then I slipped back off and fell back off in addiction. And then I had to start looking at myself, and I called her up one day and I was like, look, I know I hated you and everybody else is hating you because you did this, but thank you. You know what I mean? I understand now why you've been keeping my kids away from me, because how am I going to be a grown man and expect I want my kids in my life? Do I want my son looking at me and be like, hey, I'm going to grow up be like my daddy? Yeah. Or I want my daughter looking at me and be like, it's okay to date a man in jail. It's okay to, I mean, I was destroying more than I had known that I was doing if I was getting high, because I was so selfish and looking in on myself that I didn't understand that I'm destroying everybody's life around me at the same time. You hear me? Everybody that I love is going to have to deal with mine. No matter what I'm doing, my addiction was affecting the people in my life because I wasn't looking at them. I was looking at me. And then they had to deal with me, and they had to deal with me, and they have to look at me. And so I'm affecting everything around me with my addiction, because people have to deal with that on the outside. There's still people, you know what I mean? There's still going to be people looking at you, the people who love you, and you're ruining their lives too, because you're ruining your own. And they have to look down at that and be like, man, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, once you get this knowledge under you of this addiction and you start seeing things as they are, it really affects you, because you start seeing things like, man, I was a piece of, we won't cuss because we're on some other things, you know what I mean? But I was a real piece of crap out there in the streets, man, because all I cared about was me. All I cared about was and I was selfish, and whatever was going on around me didn't matter, because it didn't affect me, because me was being took care of because I was getting high, you know what I mean? I was still,
Yeah, when you start looking at yourself in the mirror, then it's like, you know what? You start looking at the reflection back and be like, man, you know what, man? I'm a horrible person. I'm not treating people good. I'm not treating myself good. And it's an important thing y'all need to know. You got to start learning to love yourself. Facts. I'm not saying just like self-pride and this and that. I mean, be humble. Yeah. But when you start to be like, you know what? I'm important. You know, I'm not a nobody. I'm not just a piece of trash out here. You know, and then once you start finding that love, I like to call it God's love. Hey. You know, once you find that and realize, you know what, someone does love me. You know, even if I don't see nobody, God loves me.
God loves you.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what? There are people out there who will also love me. But then when you just going through this addiction, you're going through that childhood trauma, you're going through these different things that causing you to use and cause you to go through these things, then you start just feeling so bad, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself bad. I don't deserve a good relationship. I don't deserve a good job. I don't deserve to make this type of money. I don't deserve to be around good people.
Yes, what you said.
So those type of things that hold you down with a lot comes from childhood trauma. Like you said, you were going through these different things. You was going through the situations. You've seen the broken homes. You've seen the broken families. You've seen even your broken friendships. Like you said, you're moving around and you're friends with this person 1 year. Then you have to break that friendship off and make it friends with another person. So then that teaches the person how to have a broken relationship off rip, not even noticing. It's like, you know what? I don't even really have friends, because if I have a friend and I look at you as a friend, then right after that, it's gonna be broken anyway. It's gonna break apart anyway.
It really breaks a person down to come up out of addiction. You know what I mean? And if you have grown up in addiction and watched your family struggle, and then you come into addiction and you still struggle, that's because that's what they taught you to do. That's where they left you at in your life. That's what you wouldn't say, oh, well, here, go get you a job at 18, graduate school, go do this. The first thing it was saying, I need some money. It was like, here, go get you some money.
Generational
curses. That's what that is.
So that's exactly what it is. And it's so important to break these generational curses.
You could be the one. You could be that one. I'm living proof of that. You could be that one to step out of that generational curse and say, from here on out, after this right here, this will be the last person that suffers from this generational curse that's on my family. Because after this, my family is going to succeed. We're going to be sober. We're going to be great. We're going to do great things, and we're going to live life accordingly the way that God is supposed to, with that good, orderly direction that's supposed to come out of that.
Amen. Start moving with that purpose. So tell me, brother, what was your drug of choice when you were using?
Man,
like when it advanced from the weed state?
From the weed state, man, like I told you, my family was My uncle was the #1 producer of methamphetamine of the United States of America 5 years straight. The reason why they call Mecklenburg County, because my uncle was right there. We got FBI slinging out of helicopters coming around, watching everything, all this thing. Hey, I'm telling you.
Movies.
Like the movie. I swung my mama, bro, my mama's mama. That's my grandmama. I'm telling you. We had FBI when they come in 3 days before they come in on him one time. He said, look, you got to leave here, bro. I said, huh? I'm only 13, 14 years old. He's like, time for you to go. I said, why? He's like, because the police is coming in.
Dang. Yeah, I already knew what time
No,
was.
of course, because this is real. This is real things. And I mean, FBI, DEA come out of helicopter sliding down on ropes. We're out of the middle. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, I came up in this crazy stuff, and I thought it was the life. You hear me? I'm like, oh, this is greatness, man. This is where you're supposed to live. This is the life way. This is all there. I want fast money. I want fast things. And it took me a while because I was really addicted to that lifestyle, man. And you can get addicted to a lifestyle more than the money.
Yeah, you get addicted to that fast money, fast car, fast women, and just a fast life. It's just all the way around. Man, you just moving fast.
You're just moving fast.
You slow down. You start not even knowing what to do.
What am I doing? You know what I mean? And then once you get this sober life on you, man, and you sit down with it, and you can look back and be like, man, what was I doing? And I'm getting older now, and I've gotten these opportunities since I've gotten sober, and I got a grant to pay for school, and they're paying for everything to pay for me to go to school, and I'm doing all this, and I look back and I'm like, man, now that I got hindsight and I got knowledge and I'm wise, I can say, what was I doing? I wish I would have stopped this so long ago and continued to move forward. But God puts everything in your life for a reason, and without that, I would not have what I have now. I would not be where I was at now. And so everything happens in your life for a reason. So never get down on yourself and never feel yourself in your heart, because your heart will always tell you the truth, man. Your heart will always lead you to where you're supposed to go, because he's in your heart. That's that spot that's in there that you're trying to fill with that void, that some drugs and everything you're trying to put in you. Once you figure out that void is him, put him in that spot, man, and everything else falls into place, man.
Praise the Lord. God first, all the time.
All the time, man.
Praise the Lord Christ. Yeah. Now, tell me this here, brother. You said, I remember we were talking and you said that you've been locked up a lot of times. How much have you been locked up, and what was your longest prison stint?
My whole life, I have been locked up. My whole life. All you got to do is look back, man, and I just started young, man, and it was part of it. You know what I mean? It's part of it. It comes with that game. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be out here running and gunning and doing dumb stuff, they're gonna get you. It ain't if, when, or when. It's if and when they do get you, because they do get you. It don't matter.
Facts. So people who and if a kid's looking at this or whatever, share it with your kids, and make sure to comment below your thoughts on this subject and share it, because a lot of people see these movies and things like that. Listen, kid, man, jail isn't fun. Prison isn't fun. Slinging dope isn't fun. It might seem like it is, but every story ends the same way. Death, jail, and that's a wrap. Broken families. That's it.
That's it. That's what you're going to have. I swear that my life would have been so much better had I had a positive influence in my life that had told me that there's a better way and pointed me in a different direction. I swear, I know now that my life had been so much better. And if I had just listened to some people back in the day when I was like, oh, y'all full of nonsense, you know what I mean? Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. This is the life right here. Man, I've lost so much time in my life. I got almost 17 years in right now of my life DOC has of me. I am on parole until 2030. I have to call my PO every day and talk to this woman, and anything that I do, she has to say, hey, it's okay. You know what I mean? You can do that. But let me make sure it's okay that you do it before that. I have to run things through people now because I'm on so much parole and so much time back up that I'll just, if you don't change what you're doing right now, I can tell you from experience that you're not going to like what you become when you get older. Your life is going to be a mess. And it's going to take so much of the stuff that you got inside of you to come back out of this mess. And once you just keep digging this hole and keep digging this hole and keep digging this hole, before long you're going to look up and be like, how in the hell do I get out of this? And there's only one way to get out of that. You hear me? And it's changing your life completely and living for the Lord. And I know it. I mean, I wish I would have changed my life way back in. And the presence that I feel now and the peace that I've got and everything that has been blessed in my life and everything that's going forward for me is just, it's unreal to explain. You couldn't tell me that where I was at to where I was at today and what I'm going through now is where I would be at in my life right now. You couldn't tell me that because I was destined to be a repeat offender. I was destined to spend the rest of my life in prison. I was destined to keep on selling drugs because the people that was leading me, you know what they're still doing? They're still doing drugs. They're still in that life. They're still doing these things. And we was brought up to see this.
So the organizing was kind of like you was in the gang, basically.
Man, I was in that game, bro.
You was in the gang.
I was in that game, man. And
and even with gang life, it comes with drugs, and it comes along with it.
It comes with that, man.
I tell people, like I said in the last videos with the brother who was who was from Chicago, listen, stay away from gangs. There's nothing positive in it, you know. Bang for Christ.
Yeah.
That's what you do. So something positive that's gonna be good because the people you surround something, and me definitely being around gangs and knowing about gangs, you get in trouble because your homie doing something, your people doing something, whatever your organization is, organized crime or whoever the group of people, the clique you're hanging with right now inside of your hoods, wherever you from. They don't have your best bet unless they're telling you to go get a job, start your business, go to church or what, you know what I'm saying, to do something, not to be out there and following their footsteps. And that's the big thing about it, you know what I'm saying? You get around people and then you see them like, you know what I'm saying, you might look at them like your bros or whatever, hey, these are my friends or whatever, or if you're a female, your sisters or whatever, and you see them doing stuff, you see them boosting, you see them doing this or selling their bodies or selling dope or whatever like that, and then it's like, you know what? That's what you're doing. We're friends. This is what we're going to do together. Come get this money with me. And then they'll drag you down.
I heard it all the time growing up, and I know it's me sounding like a dang hypocrite right now saying it, but it's this hip hop. And it's this gang lifestyle and everything that they're putting out here in this music that these people are trying to acquire and follow to. Oh, well, listen what he said. He said he did this. He said he did that. He's doing this and that. He's getting that money on that. I want to do like that. Yeah. That's where I want to be. So we got a whole generation of babies just growing up who's wanting to be thugs. You hear me? And it started back, and you can say back when Tupac and Biggie was running, they began this thing. And from 1991, 1990, all them pulling up to all the way up to now, we got generations of men who are going to grow up to be boys because they don't know how to be a man. They know how to be a thug. They know how to act accordingly to what they've been seeing on TV. And that's that they're following suit in. We need men out here who's going to stand up and put down a good set of rules for people to follow and look like, hey, this is where I want to be. This is the positivity that I want to spread. This is where I want to be in my life. And we need to get that generation out of that hole that they're digging themselves in, that they're going to be in for the rest of their lives, like I was, like anybody else who's out there in this game. When you figure out that generational curse that you got on your life, that your family's life, when you know that so many generations before you have done the same thing and you're destined to do the same thing, your kids are destined to do the same thing, your kids' kids are destined to do the same thing and grow up in the same problems that you had. Once you figure out that you could be the root of the change of that, you step up and you become a man. Because I guarantee you, anybody who out there saying you a grown-ass man, let me ask you a question. Where's your family at? Where's your wife at? Where's your kids at? Where's the thing at? Where you getting that paycheck from? Where's that money coming in at? Grown men do grown man things, and they don't act like these other men out here who boys is, who are doing these wrong stuff, because a grown man knows how to do the right thing and continue to do the right thing. We're supposed to be the center of the family. If you ain't the center of the family, what are you doing? You're bringing your family down with you.
Exactly. See, inside of the Bible it says something, like I said, and I ain't pushing it down people's throat. I'm just saying it says this here, it says that you know, when you're a child, you do childish things, and then when you become a man, you put away things aside. So before y'all knew this information and you were ignorant to the fact, then you had no excuse. But once you know better, then you do better.
It says it in there. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be a person and not know the rule, because you're not held accountable for that. But once you know that you're doing wrong and you continue to do wrong, that's when he's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just an open rebellion at that point. It's not you're not even moving in ignorance. No. You're just an open rebellion.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's so sad to see that happening. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, a good thing that people have to start being men out here.
Yes.
In the music game, it's just horrible. Like I don't listen to rap. You know what I'm saying? Listen to rap is horrible because I do believe that this murder music, and that's what I call it, murder music, has actually been tearing down these generations after generation. It doesn't matter even the positive spin on it, the vibe behind it, it's not good. So it's like, you know, you got people who's not even involved doesn't even have to be involved in gangs, doesn't even have to be involved in the streets or anything like that, and they still choose to do it. And then they'll listen to the music and it's pumping them up to get them ready on it. They can't even go and do, a lot of people, before they go and take somebody's life, before they go and do ride on your ops or whatever you call it, you know what I'm saying? Before they go and move a pack, they literally listen to music that's talking about moving packs, robbing people, doing drugs, doing this, treating females bad, treating dudes, if they're a female rapping, they treating dudes bad. It's all negativity at the end of the day. Nothing about it is building anybody up at all. Nobody, no way, shape, or form. So definitely the music is important, what you listening to, because what you're feeding your spirit, that's important. So you gotta watch what you look at on TV. You gotta watch out what you listening to and who you listen to, because if they're talking about tearing a society down, which is what it's doing, basically, then you need to go ahead and remove that. You know, don't give it rewards. Don't feed your money. It's not a good thing to see people who dying on the side of the street. No. It's not a good thing. And now if a person is a part of their environment and then they see it, they get used to it. But you know what happens? Once a person removes themselves from that environment or gets the opportunity to leave that environment, then you start seeing a change in a lot of people. Some of them, when they're still connected to the old people, then they'll still remain in that type of mindset. But once you actually remove yourself from the situation or get to a point where you can be like, you know what, I'm not going to hang out with these people no more. I'm not going to do this no more. I'm not going to be your friend anymore because you're a negative influence. And you start worrying about yourself, your mindset is going to start changing because you're not going to be around that negativity.
No, the negativity, man, is what is bringing people down these days, man. And it goes further back than when you was a kid, because the negativity has been around for a while, and the negativity continues to grow as it grows in the spirit, as it grows in the darkness, as it grows in the shadows, and the people who are living their lives away from these things, and people are looking at that and they're like, but it's so much easier to be this kind of person than it is to do this. And so they flee to the darkness, they flee to these things, and they flee to this negative state of mind, and they continue to live that way because they're afraid of the light, and all things come to the light in the end. It's supposed to, saying, if you are out there in the madness and living in the darkness, in the shadows, in the streets, doing these things, and you're like, please man up and realize that you could be the pillar of this inspiration and change in your life that changes everything for the future and your whole family, because they see that you're doing all this and you're doing a change, man. And all the people around you and the kids around you are going to look up to you, because that's part of a man being a man's position. The children look up to you. So you decide what you want your children to look up to. You decide what your children are going to be, because if they're looking up to you, they're like, I'm going to be like my dad when I grow up.
Tell me this, when was the changing point in your lifetime when you was like, you know what, I'm tired of the way I'm living, I'm tired of what's going on, I'm officially going to take this step to officially change?
Man, look, I'm a persistent felony offender. I just come home from the PFO 2. The next one's the PFO 1. That's 10 flat. And then whatever time I bring back in with me. And I had to realize that I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison. I'm 39 years old. I don't have 15, 16 years to spend back behind bars again. And once you sit behind bars for so long and you realize, man, who is there for you? Ain't nobody there for you. Them people that you loved, your brothers, all the ones you's out there in the madness with, having fun with, the minute you disappear, you know where they go? To the next guy, to the next plug, to the next man to get that. And you know who you are? You're the guy calling collect from the phone trying to find somebody who's going to answer that phone call for you. And you know who's going to answer that phone call for you? It ain't none of them buddies of yours. It ain't none of them friends of you, because they done moved about you and they done moved on. The women that you was out there with, they done moved on. Everybody's out there. The only person I talked to in the 5 years that I was locked up was my mama. You hear me? I called my mama on the phone, and my mama had to take care of me. And now I'm having to use the phone to depend on somebody else to take care of me while I'm locked up, because I can't take care of myself, because I ain't been a grown man and did the wrong things and ended myself up in prison. And now I'm controlling things. Like I said, if you're doing things, you're controlling everybody's life around you, no matter what you're doing. Because the wrong that you're doing when you go to prison, you got everybody else in prison with you. When you get locked up, everybody who loves you is locked up with you. That's facts. Everybody's in that time because they think about the part that they're missing, the person that they're missing, the life that they're missing, everything that's going on. And it just...
The silliest thing I ever seen was people giving green lights and saying it's cool when you're game banging to be locked up. Like you earn stripes to get locked up. Oh, you been locked up. That's such a great thing. And you know what? The music industry, all you people out here who's rapping all this crazy stuff, they literally are supporting people going to jail, supporting people going to prison, supporting people taking other people's lives, and then you got supporting it. And then I sit back and I see so much content on, you just scroll through and you see content of people showing jail fights, this, that, and they're trying to glorify it like it's something cool. Oh, that person helped his own. Listen, it's life and death in there. Majority of the people in there, they suffer from trauma because they've been through so much crap in their life. They're traumatized. So they're not in there because they're happy. Some of them just are so caught up in the loop that they feel like this is the only thing they know. And then once a person starts, this is the thing, once society started glorifying being locked up, glorifying prison, it makes people accept it more. It's not cool.
No,
it's not cool.
Definitely
Ask
not.
these people to get out and try to get a job and see what happens with their record when the person looks at their record and be like, hey man, dang, can I get a job? Nope. Now you're 20 years old, 30 years old, 40, 50 years old, and you're getting out of prison, you're trying to find something to do. And then nobody wants to hire you?
Because you're a convicted felon?
Exactly.
It's
hard. It's hard.
You got a record this long, you look back and you're like, your record will follow you around for the rest of your life.
Rest of your life.
When you out there and the girl looked at me the other day, she said, man, the police said, I'll flee a circle in the block around everything, you know what I'm saying? I said, if you will figure out, once you figure out who you're around one day, you might figure out why the police keep circling blocks and stuff, you hear me? Because they know it's liable to pop off at any minute. And they know that I can liable to go sideways at any second, and they know when I go, I'm going. And they do that. And once you get these felonies, then you get the FBI number. When you get the FBI number is like, they just waiting on you. You hear me?
Yeah,
they waiting on you.
That's
like, he is a repeat offender, guaranteed to begin. You hear me? He was going to. Once you break that curse, and then you look. But I'm telling you, once you get off that lifestyle, man, it's a change. You become a new person. You know. Even inside of the Bible talks about what being born again. You believe it. God, the Lord Christ will make you a new creation. So it's like, you become a new person. You start moving different. You start thinking differently. And when you're going through this a lot of stuff, man, you're taking these drugs and these substances, trying to cope with the pain that you've been through. It's trying to cope with the fact that your family was treating you like trash, or you might have family members who you might love to death, but you start realizing, you know what, they weren't the best, but it wasn't them. It was their parents and their parents on 3-4 generations of people who've been on bull crap. And it's like, you know what, man, I'm tired of this. I'm about to break this today. Break it.
And it's about to be a wrap. You pray, and I hear you talk about your faith. So when did you start leaning towards? I hear things have changed now in your life. What has changed now in your walk with discovering what you want to do? What you see, what are you being led to right now?
You see these hairs stand up on me right now? That's one of the changes right there. The Holy Spirit, man. He said when he left us here, when he left them here, he said, I'm not gonna leave y'all by yourself. I'm gonna leave y'all with a helper. And you will find that helper. And when you find that helper, you see them hairs stand up? That's the Holy Spirit moving all over your body. And anybody who knows that, when they're like, oh, well, I'm getting goosebumps for and everything, that's them trying to tell you something. You can't find God in just anything that you look for, because you're not just going to find him anywhere. He's going to be in the small things that you wouldn't look at. When you start looking at things slowly, you calm down and get your life right, then you be like, I see you. I get what you're saying to me right now. You gotta slow down. And like he said a while ago, once you become this new creation in God, you gotta let all the past go, all the hurt, everything, let it go from behind. And then you are born as a new thing, and you are adopted into the life of a brotherhood with Jesus Christ and his Father as your Father. And once you get adopted into that, the blood has washed you clean. And once you're washed clean of that, all sins and everything that you have done is washed away. And this new life is born in you. And once you get this new life born in you, God said, I got you no matter what. Jesus said, I will do whatever I can for you. You are in my hand at all times. Only you can walk away from me and turn your back on me, but you are always in my hand, and I'm always holding you. I'm always got you. And once you figure that out and you let all that other things go, man, it's a release. It's like, I mean, I'm really feeling.
You've been set free.
Yeah, I've been set free. Hey, you've been set. Hey, I'm really feeling that right now, man. It's like, and you know, with the doubt in your mind that if you're hungry, he's gonna put something in your life to feed you. If you need something that's positive for you, he's gonna put it in your life for you. No matter what, he's gonna be there for you. Once you get that release from your life and you have it in you, y'all, your life will change dramatically. Everything that you see will change dramatically. Everything that you act will change. You will be more Christ-like, as it says. What the definition of a Christian is, it's what that Christian thing stands for, that you are Christ-like. To become Christ-like is to become a Christian. And so if you're saying you're Christian and you ain't Christ-like, then, you know what I mean, it's an
error. It's an error in your ways and
yeah,
your thinking.
Yeah, it's an
error in the ways and your thinking. So from being raised in a family of drugs and being surrounded by your whole life, and then to the point of being back and forth to prison 17 years of your life, and then to the point of you going through the generational curse of having a broken home and you being from a broken home, and then now things are coming together. Now you're on the sober path. Now you're on the I'm not going back to prison path. Now God has led you. When you told me before that you were being felt that you would want to do preach the word of God, and now he has a class that he's taken to even more develop his education to be able to get better job and more opportunity despite the record and everything like that. God opening up doors.
God opening doors.
And you see God is real, because you know it's nothing but miracles when these type of things happen, folks. See, they try to say that, listen, you know, certain therapy is good for certain things. We understand that, and it's good, and it has its part there, but the spiritual on the inside, because we are spiritual beings living a human existence.
Yes.
So once you get that spirit right, and then you line up with God, man, I truly believe, folks, that God's going to lead you on that right path. So right now, what do you have going on since you've been sober that you're moving in a more positive way? And since those generational curses have been broken?
Man, it's not a fast process, y'all. It don't happen overnight. So don't get in no hurry. Don't be out here thinking that you're going to get what's it called when you get it automatically. I can't think of the word right now, but it don't come overnight. You don't get it right then. Everybody looks for gratification.
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification. It's not going to be instant. It don't happen instantly to you, but you have to sit back with patience, be humble, be mindful of other people around you, and watch things. I got a woman now in my life, and she's probably one of the greatest things that I've had in my life. And it says in the thing to get married and to find that woman. And I've had a lot of women in my life, and they wasn't that, you know what I mean? And once you find that in your life, somebody who stands behind you and points you in the right direction, that's what a woman's job is to do for a man, you know what I mean? That woman's supposed to be able to be like, hey, get your head out your ass.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yep.
Do what you do.
Yep.
Quit falling. And I got one of those in my life right now. And we're both fully involved in the church, and she's trying to get in there with the pastor's wife, and I mean I go hang out with my pastor, you know what I'm saying, and he's got me under his wing, and he's teaching me how to, you know, he said, man, you got a little nervous in church the other day because I stood up and it was Father's Day, and everybody's talking about, oh, my Father, and I was like, man, I said, that's not, when they say you're supposed to give your praise to God right now, you're not supposed to talk about your background in your life or how you're doing. You're supposed to give all praise to him right now, you know what I mean? So I stood up and I'm like, it is Father's Day, and we may have dads, and we may have people out here who are doing these things for us, but we all have a Father who is in heaven, who is the best Father, who is the greatest Father of anybody that could have anything, that we was adopted into this life through the blood of Lamb of God, Jesus Christ himself. When he gave that blood for us, we was washed away of all that, which made us all brothers. And once you get over this skin color, things that fold, the past and that thing, realize that we're all just people and we're all brothers underneath one person, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Once you believe, yep.
Hey, so
believing, that's how to say, bro.
Man, once you just gotta be believed in that. But I can say here, like I said, I was telling you earlier, we just come out from an AA meeting, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, these AA steps, these 12 steps, if you do not have God in your life, then you are not working these steps, because there's 7 of them that says his name directly, you know what I mean? Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, you know what I mean? Our life have come unmanageable. 1, 2, 3 is direct amends with him. 4 is figuring out what you done did to yourself, and you're saying that you done did to other people. 5 is admitting that to him, or somebody else, or another person, or human being, and doing that. And then 6 is to make amends with the other things that you're going through. Yeah. And then 7, it just, if you do not have him in your life, then you cannot really create and fix what you've been going through. I encourage everybody who is not known to open yourself up, open your hearts up, and really drop down on them knees. You hear me?
Yeah. Thanks.
And really be truthful with yourself and say,
Hold it accountable and realize, you know what? I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. When you realize, when you take that pride out and be like, hey, I can't do it myself, man. I need help.
I do need help.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I do need help, and y'all need help. And I encourage anybody. I encourage anybody to come down here to First Step. Anybody who is out there in that madness, who is living that curse, who's living in rough, who's doing that thing. First Step is here to help people. I've done left First Step because it says in the thing, first step is your first step towards doing where you're supposed to be at. You got to continue to put that right foot forward and to keep moving forward. And that's your first step. This could be your first step. All you got to do is say, admit that I'm powerless over alcohol or life become unmanageable and I cannot do this. And then once you make that first thing, man, continue to move forward. And I'm telling you, my life has become so much better. Everything has become so much better. My connection with people, my connection with everything in my life has become greater. And I know you're sitting around right now like, oh, my life sucks, and oh my God, why is everything so bad in my life, and why is all that? You're the problem. I know it hurts you for a minute to feel like it ain't everybody else's fault out there. It ain't everybody else's problem. It's you who has the problem. It's you why you cannot adjust to where you're supposed to be at. You're adjusting to the wrong way. You're taking the easy way out, keep on getting high every day. You're taking the easy, that's a low way to get out of things. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to accept reality.
No, you don't want to accept your reality. And that's the first thing that a man has to do is accept reality. And once you get this responsibility on you, be like, man, I got so much stuff that I got to do. And you will continue to do good things once you figure that out. And I'm sorry, for real, that y'all are out there like that. I see these people sitting on these corners out here holding signs. And I have to ask the Lord for that minute, be like, Lord, I could have been like that. I've been close to that, but be with that man. You know what I mean? I know he's out here panhandling right now, probably just to go get high. You know what I mean? But fix his life or fix where he's at right now so you don't have to be like that no more, because I hate seeing the people down, you hear me? Yeah. I hate seeing the people out there like that, living in that lifestyle. It bothers me, bro. Yeah. I see a man going down the street the other day in a wheelchair, and she was over sitting beside me, was watching a movie, and I said, Lord, be with that man. She's like, who are you talking about? I said, there's a man out there on one of them little scooters, on quadriplegic, you know what I mean? Yeah. Riding in one of those chairs going down the street like this right here. And I was like, man, that has got to be the worst thing in the world to know that you're out here by yourself like that, you know what I mean? Lord, be with that man today. Give him something that's going to be, you know what I mean?
That's a fact, bro.
Man, once you get that love into you like that, and you have that with you, and you're just like, he can fix this.
Yeah. That's what God's love, brother.
Yeah. Agape.
Yep. Definitely is.
It's agape.
Hey, man, I appreciate you so much for coming into the 12 at 12 podcast and telling your story, man. I definitely appreciate that.
You're more than welcome, man.
If there's anything else you want to say to the people, let them know something.
Hey, y'all, please give it up and change and be the person in your life that changes, because ain't nobody else going to do that for you. There's nobody that's going to be able to do that for you. Cannot let nobody fix you but you. You can blame all the blame you want to on your family, on your friends, on the drugs, on this, on that, what somebody did to you or whatever, and saying that. You have to forgive them first in your heart. You have to forgive. And the forgiveness is not for the person that you're giving it to. The forgiveness is for you. Because if you keep poisoning yourself with all the hate and all the holding this stuff inside of you, you're poisoning yourself with hate for somebody else. What sense does that make? You got to let things go. And I promise you, if you got a problem, if you got an addiction, if you got a thing, it can all be fixed. And these people are here to help. And I got to give these people more props than I can say, because people like this man right here, sitting here with me, I talked to this man right here. When I first met him, I was like, okay. Okay. And then we sat down and we got to chop it up a little bit, and I was like, you're on the right path right there. Yeah, and once you see people who are on the right path, you be like, man, I'm trying to have that man's speed, have that man's life, have that man's where he's at right now, because he obviously knows what he's doing. Yeah. And once you see people like that around you, like they put you in these situations, in these rehabs and places like that, and you see people with this knowledge on them, you see them, you'll change who you want to be like, because you ain't trying to be like a rapper no more. You ain't trying to be like a gangster no more. You ain't trying to be like that. You trying to be like, you trying to see, hey, man, he's got his life figured out. He's got a house, he's got a car, he's got a job, he's got a thing, he's happy, there's a smile on his face every day, and you'll figure out that that's who you want to be like. Because I'm telling y'all, once we grow up, man, get over the childish. That's over with. You hear me?
Yeah, facts.
Hey, being a kid is, you know what I mean? Are you a Toys R Us kid? Is that what you are? You don't want to grow up?
Yep.
Well, then you need to keep on playing with toys and stuff. You know what I mean? Because
Facts.
men don't play with toys.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
It's time to start being that inspiration.
Yes.
And being that head of the household
Yes.
like you're supposed to be out there, man. Get your lives right. Stop the drugs.
Yes.
Let it go. Break those generational curses. Men, women, everybody, get right. Stop it. And today's the day to make the change.
Right.
We're happy that you tuned in today. Please subscribe, share, tap that subscribe button and that bell button if you're on YouTube to be notified of the newest videos that come out. And that's a wrap for today at the 12 and 12 podcast. And everyone, have a blessed day.
Be blessed.